I'd like to say that the concessions will not satisfy the protesters, and in fact, they have not been successful in satisfying the protesters, because a win where people have to die is then not considered a win. Yes, the planned protests are still in the pipeline, and after that, we're looking to see how we can recall the MPs currently, and especially the ones who voted yes for the Finance Bill 2024 at both the third reading and the third reading and the second reading. So I'd like to say yes, the planned protests are still ongoing, and there are plans to recall the MPs who voted yes at both stages. The main achievements, there are quite a number, but I'll highlight the most outstanding ones. The first one would be to show that there's power in unity, where there's no political affiliation, where we have not accepted to be divided along the tribal lines or the classism lines. The second thing is that there has been the fast and efficient mobilization of resources towards one cause. For example, even when some peaceful protesters were injured, resources were actually mobilized towards their treatment. The other thing is that we have come to the understanding and knowledge that no leader is greater than the people that they serve. The other thing is that we have understood the sovereignty of people. The sovereignty of the people of Kenya has been affirmed, and the protest and the subsequent results, though unsatisfactory, have confirmed to Kenyans that we, the people, is indeed a powerful statement, and hence its inclusion in our constitution.
Well, let's bring in Bob Mukangi, a governance and human rights consultant, for more on this. He's joining us via Zoom from Nairobi. Bob, so what do you make of the timing of the president's announcement? Does it mean the bill is now dead?
Once officially withdrawn, then it will be dead. I think there was a promise that that might be done today, meaning tonight, considering the lateness of the announcement. So if Parliament resolves to withdraw it as per its standing orders, then it will stand withdrawn, but it can be reintroduced at a later date. So it doesn't mean it's dead in total. It can be reintroduced. But I think it will be after the national dialogue with the young people, as the president promised. Yes.
So what next, though, for the government in terms of a new budget?
Sorry, say that again?
What is next for the government when it comes to the budget?
Well, we are going to continue using the Appropriation Act of 2023. So it doesn't mean that the government does not have finances or funds to continue running its services, offering services, and running its business. And I think after it does the things that the Kenyans demanded, and the president said he's going to do, coming off the discussions, if they are going to be held. I think today was also a declaration and an offer of an olive branch to the young people of the country. So I think after sitting down and listening to each other, then perhaps that's when the budget remaking process will commence. I don't see it happening without a resolution of what has happened and taking stock of what has happened in the past few weeks.
And of course, there's going to be likely an impact of all of this, Bob. What are the likely political and economic consequences of this announcement?
If the promises around austerity and cutting and watching government expenditure are going to be fulfilled with the fidelity of the president's tone today, and if the measures that are coming from Kenyans in terms of ensuring there's zero tolerance to corruption, no wastage, proper use of public funds, then we'll probably see a turnaround into positivity of the Kenyan economy. Because a lot of what has been going wrong and why Kenyans, and especially young Kenyans, are poured out to the streets is more because of the very, very bad wastage of public funds through corruption that has been seen over the years. So I think if the measures that have been promised and what Kenyans want, if those are put into place, then obviously not immediately, but going forward, we're going to see a turnaround. As many people have been saying, the problem with our economy is not really around revenue collection or sources of revenue, but it's the other side of it, expenditure, where we've been going wrong. So I think the conversation going forward, and especially with the concession from the government that it has been doing things wrong, if we correct those, then we're going to see a turnaround in the Kenyan economy for the better.
And finally, so what options does the government have now, considering the decision also has international dimensions?
I think the best option is to listen, as the president said, listen keenly to what Kenyans want, and not only now, going forward. The Constitution says sovereignty belongs to all the people of Kenya. And so the government, once it takes heed of the fact that it is the servant of the people and not the other way around, and behaves so, then it will also help itself in getting out of this very, very, I must say, embarrassing situation. It must conduct itself in a way that helps it regain the confidence and the trust that it has lost, both locally but also internationally. When people look at a government where the people of that country show that the social contract the government has with them has been broken, then there is a tendency also to sort of keep that government or administration at an arm's length. So how President Ruto's administration conduct itself going forward is what is going to really matter for itself, but also for the international community.